Chag Sameach. Welcome to our Chanuka show. Very exciting to see so many of you on Zoom. I know we have a lot of people watching on Facebook as well. And we will also hopefully be posting this on YouTube after the event as well. So if anyone doesn't get a chance to watch it, you'll be able to watch it after. Or if you'd like to watch it again, you will also be able to watch it after as well. Well, no worries there. I just recommend that everyone watching currently on Zoom puts their cameras into speaker mode. It'll be a much easier way to watch the show. So I'd recommend you did that. Coming up this evening, we are going to be starting with our candle lighting. Chanuka candle lighting, which is going to be led by Rabbi Lister. If anyone would like to light their own candles at home at the same time, we very much encourage that. And you can say the bracha at home and sing along at home with Rabbi Lister as well. So that is how we're going to be starting the show. Following that, we will move on to the variety show aspect of our event, which we are very excited for. That's going to be starting with a live magical performance from our very own Rabbi Shisler. We will then be moving on. We have a vast array of talents and performers, of acts, all the way from magic to singing, from violin to poetry, from monologues to sketches, and that will be culminating with a very special performance from Dame Maureen Littman. So there's a lot to look forward to. Also in our show throughout, we've asked over the last few weeks, we have asked members of Edgware United to submit their favorite Jewish jokes. And throughout the show, we will be playing the jokes that they have sent in. And I can tell you that is something also to look forward to as well. So I just wanted to say a huge thank you, firstly, to all of the wonderful acts, all of the wonderful performers who have submitted performances. We're really very, very lucky, and we're very grateful to all of them for everything they've done. Also, a thank you to everyone who submitted a joke. We really appreciate that as well. And finally, I would just like to thank Spencer Nathan, David Oliver, and Phil Singer, who worked so hard to put this event together and make it hopefully a wonderful and very memorable event. Without further ado, I will pass over to Rabbi Lister, who will be leading us in candle lighting. Over to you, Rabbi.
Thank you, Avi, and welcome everybody to this wonderful event. It is so nice to welcome you all here tonight.
Rabbi, excuse me, what are we putting in the Chanuka tonight?
4 candles.
4 candles?
No.
Okay, I think I have some.
What?
You mean these?
What? No, Spencer, it's 4 candles.
Yes, exactly. 4 candles.
No, 4 Chanuka candles. Oh, my goodness me.
Ah, okay, not 4 candles, but 4 candles.
4 candles, yes.
4 candles. Why didn't you say so?
I'm sorry, I did my best, I'm sorry. Okay, thank you, Spencer, for clarifying that. I'm so grateful. We will move on now to the lighting of our 4 Chanuka candles. Here we go. I've got my menorah already here. So we'll start off with lighting the shamash. Then I'll say the brachot, and away we'll go. Here we go. I'll turn off the light so we can all see nicely. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvosav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner Chanuka. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asa nisim l'avoseinu bayamim hahem b'zman hazeh. Rois halanu anachnu madlikin al hanisim ve'al teshuos ve'al hamilchamos she'asisa l'avoseinu al yedei kayanecha hakadoshim v'chol shmei nas yemei Chanuka hanei rois halanu kodesh hein ve'en lanu resos lehistamesh bahen אלא לרייסם בלבד, כדי להידש לשמחו הגדול, על ניסך ועל נפלאותיך וישועתך.
תיקון בספילסי ושם תירן זבח להסתכין מטבח מצרם נבח הזג מויר בשיר מזמויר Chanuka samizbeach ro'ois tzava nafshi beyagain kai chiki ela chayai mereru bekoishi beshiburi malchus eglo ov yadai agdoila ירדו חייבן מצולה דביר קדשו אביאני וגם שם לא ישוקד דיובנה גייס ויגלני כי זרים עבדתי ויין רל מוסכתי כי מה שעברתי קייס בבל זרובבל לקייס שיהיה ויים נשתי קרייס קיימס בראש ביקי שגגי בנמדסה וניסה לא ילפח למויקש וגב עשוי נשבוסו ראש ימיני ניסייסו ואיב שמוי מכיסו רייב בנה וקניונו על האסטול היסו יוונים נקבצו עלי עזווי בימי חשמנים ופרצו חיים עיס מגדלי ותימו כל השמנים ומינוי סרקני קנים נעשני שלושים בני בינה ימי שמונה קבו שירו רננים
Thank you very much to Rabbi Lister for leading us in candlelighting, and to Chazan Yossi for his wonderful matzah, and to everyone who submitted their pictures as well. It's so lovely to be welcomed into everyone's homes and see everyone lighting the candles. Really very special. And we will now start our variety show aspect of the evening, and we're very excited. And what better way to start than with a magical performance from Rabbi Shisler? So we'll pass it over to you, Rabbi Shisler.
Right. Good afternoon, everybody, and I wish you a very happy Chanuka. Now, most of what you're going to see this afternoon is pre-recorded, but I'm not. I'm live, and I'm going to try and prove to you that I'm live. So come and look down here on my table. Right. Now, here you can see I have 2 coins. I have a 10p piece and a 2p piece. I'm going to put this 2p piece on my clenched fist, covered by the 2p. Now watch very carefully, because what you're going to see, you won't believe. Empty hand, on the top of the 2 coins, very gently, and then I push very hard and it goes all the way through. And if you don't believe me, here it is. 1 single 10p piece and 1 single 2p piece. And that, of course, you can only do live. I'm actually going to start, although that started, I'm going to start really with one of the hardest tricks in magic. It's a trick that needs a pack of cards and 2 people to help. Now, I know that before we started, Abby asked David Oliver and David Landau to help me. Can you please unmute them, or unmute yourselves, the 2 Davids, if you're still there? Looks like David Landau's gone somewhere.
David Landau's gone, so I'm going to be filling in for him.
Okay, so we'll have David Oliver, and Avi. David Oliver, are you with us?
Now I am, yes.
Excellent, excellent. Now, normally I would have you come in to help me and have you one each side. So let's have David Oliver on this side and Avi on this side. All right, we'll just wait while they pop over. You ready? Excellent. Now, this is a trick that uses a pack of cards. Right? And I'm going to ask David to select the card, but I'm going to do it as fairly as I possibly can so that people know for sure that we haven't set this up. So I'm going to split the pack roughly in half. Let's say roughly in half, just about there. Yeah, that'll do. David, are you with us?
I'm with you.
Right, this is A and this is B. Select one, A or B?
B.
B. Okay, we'll keep B, get rid of A. We're going to whittle them down to one card as quickly as we possibly can. A or B?
A.
A, we'll get rid of A. A or B?
Get rid of A. Get rid of A.
Get rid of A. A or B?
A. Get
A
rid
again? A or B?
B.
B. Which one do you want to choose? A or B?
B.
B. Okay. Let's see, now we've chosen that card. I hope you'll agree the fairest way we possibly can, and that is what? It's a Jack of Clubs. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
The Jack of Clubs. Now we'll split these. We'll split this in half again, and give this a very, very good shuffle. And watch carefully, because you'll see that I am genuinely shuffling. Normally, you see, if I'd have David and Avi standing by me, I would ask them to do the shuffling, but we can't do that. But you can see I am giving a genuinely fair shuffle. Avi, this is your part. Now, while I'm giving this a shuffle, Avi, I want you to remember there are 52 cards in every pack.
Yeah.
So you have a free choice of any number from 1 to 52.
11.
Which one? Pardon?
11.
Number 11, okay? We'll reassemble the pack. Number 11. Now, Avi selected number 11, and David had the Jack of Clubs. Let's see where we come to. 1. Hold on a second. There we go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's the 11th card. David, what was the card that you selected?
Jack of Clubs.
The Jack of Clubs. And Avi, the number you came down to was?
11.
Number 11, which is your Jack of Clubs. I wish I could hear the thunderous applause. Now, all of you will know, let's come up here again. Let me bring you upstairs. All of you will know that this is wax. This is, if I can get a pick, there we are, you can see it now, right? It is dental floss. Now, I find the problem with dental floss is that when you use the stuff, you get to the end of the box and you have these little pieces And they're a real nuisance, these little pieces. And I've come up with a way of collecting all these little pieces. Now we have to economize nowadays, of course. So what I do is, when I get to the end of the box, I don't throw away the pieces. I keep them. Let's have another one, why not? So I keep all the little pieces and I put one aside, say that one, and these I wrap up into a little tiny ball. And because this is waxed, this sticks quite easily onto there, as you can see. Now, if you know the magic spell, which I do, which is abracadonut, you can actually do an amazing thing and turn it into a piece of dental floss you can actually use. Hooray! Thank you very much. Okay, now it's your turn. You're going to need, I asked Abby to ask you, but he must have forgotten. You need a calculator. Can everybody get their phone? And if you've got your phone, turn up your calculator app. Or if you haven't got a calculator app, maybe you've got a calculator. While you're doing that, for those of you who are still watching, I want you to notice that over here on my right, I have a pad, and on the back of that pad, something is written, and we'll come back to that later. Now, we're going to deal with some numbers. I hope as many of you as possible have got your calculator app up. Let me just find mine. There we are. I don't think you can see it, but you might recognize it from the blue line down the side. Now, there are some numbers that people believe have meaning in our lives. A lot of this is pretty common sense. I mean, for example, if you have, over the years, you've had lots of pets, the chances are, obviously, you're going to be a pet lover. If you have been married to the same woman for 40 years, let's say, then the chances are that you're probably a caring person or trustworthy. Obviously, happy to stay together with somebody. If you've got a big collection of books on astronomy or a big collection of Barbie dolls, obviously they mean something to you. Now, each of us has different numbers. We're all, in some ways, we're all definitely unique, only in some ways. I want to see if we can do this together, see if we can give some insight into you, into each one of us. Now, bring up your calculator app, and we're all going to add, multiply, divide numbers that have a meaning to you. Now, if the number, for example, is 37, then make sure you type in 37. If it's 0, type in 0. Okay, let's go. We're going to start with your birth year, but only the last 2 digits. So if you were born in 1994, you'll type in 94. If you were born in 2003, type in 3. So first of all, just type in your birth year, the last 2 digits of your birth year. When you've done that, type in plus. And now you've got 2 questions, and you can have only answer just one of them. How many times have you sailed to America? How many times have you sailed to America? Or how many times have you been to tea with the Queen? Maybe at a Buckingham House garden party. Type in the answer, the real answer. And when you've done that, type multiply by. Next, you've got choice of 2 more. Either type in the first 2 numbers of your PIN code or the number of your house. Only one of them. Either the first 2 numbers of your PIN code or the number of your house. When you've done that, type in divided by. Next, still got two more choices. Number one, how many good friends do you think you have? Estimate will do. Or how many pets have you had throughout your lifetime? Only one of the answers. How many good friends have you had or do you have? Or how many pets have you had? When you've done that, type in plus. And finally, how old will you be this year on December the 31st? Okay, equals. Now you've got a result. And let's just think for a moment. Tonight, the numbers that you entered were your own numbers. In the past, they may well have been different, and in the future, they're likely to be different as well. In fact, had you chosen other options, then all of our totals would be completely different. Each of our answers to each of these questions is obviously unique. It's what makes each one of us different. But the fact that we are unique means in another way, we're actually quite similar. Now then, when I added up all those numbers that are unique to me, I got my own special number. I'm going to show you what that special number is. I've got it on the back of this card. And I want you to have a look very carefully at the number you've come up with. Because my special number is 120, just like yours. Hold up your phone and everybody shows you come to 120. And that's my bracha for everybody. We should all live to 120. All right, I'm going to come on to my last trick now. And this is something that is very special for me. I'm going to ask you to come down, come and have a look on the table again. Now, I have in here a pack of cards, but this is a very, very special pack of cards. This I got in an auction at the Magic Circle. It belonged to a very, very well-known gambler, a man called Diamond Jim Tyler. And he used to travel around the world playing poker. And Diamond Jim was an unusual poker player because he was genuine. He did not like cheating. And when he played a game and he realized there was cheating going on, he got very, very angry. And what he used to do was steal a card from every game that he found there was cheating going on. So he ended up with a pack with completely different backs. A whole pack of cards, each one with a different back. Now, some of them, actually, quite a lot of them are marked. I haven't been able to work all of them out. That one's the 3 of clubs. That's a 5 of diamonds, I think. Oh, this is very interesting. This comes, you might be able to see the corner is chopped off. That comes from the Hard Rock Hotel, from the casino there. They sell packs of cards out at casinos after they've used them, but then they make a mark on them. Sometimes they put a hole in them to make sure that they can't be used in the hotel again. There's another one there from the Luxor Hotel. I think these were the last 2 cards, actually, that he pinched. But I found, looking at these cards, they have a most extraordinary ability. Let me show you what I mean. Avi, can you unmute again? Good. Avi, I'm going to count down. Just tell me to stop anywhere you like.
Stop.
Hold on 1 second. No, it's okay. Sorry, it's okay. Tell me stop anywhere you like.
Stop.
Okay, let's put this card here to see where you've stopped me. I'm going to ask you to do it again.
Stop.
Here. Now let's have a look and see what's happened here. Because this very extraordinary pack of cards. The first time you stopped me was there. And the second time was now that is interesting. That's very interesting. They both come from the Las Vegas Hotel. Very interesting. These two cards, strangely, also from the Las Vegas Hotel. This is really strange, I think, because these are the two threes of clubs, and these are the two threes of spades. And what makes this even more extraordinary is that these cards are all the Jack of Hearts. Thank you very much indeed. Have a lovely Chanukah, and we should spend many happy times together.
Thank you very, very much to Rabbi Shesler. What a wonderful way for us to open our show with a live performance from Rabbi Shesler. We really appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. We are now going to head into our pre-recorded entertainment. So everyone sit back, get comfortable, relax, and enjoy the show.
I have so many fond memories of performing in Edgware United, of davening in Edgware United as Chazan there.
It was all right.
Wonderful, magnificent concerts. All those years ago with Shim and Avromi and the Shabbaton choir, and in more recent years with Yossi and Chaim David Burson. Who would have thought that I'll be doing my part? I would be participating in the concert one year from my home in my pajama bottoms. Well, I'm not going to reveal whether that's actually true or not, but here we are, and it's wonderful to be involved. I was asked to choose a song that really resonated with me. And one song that really resonates with me during this period that we're currently in is the song Someday. Someday we will all be together. The song sung by Mordechai ben David, MBD. Of course, it speaks about the yearning of being united together as a kehillah in Yerushalayim with the coming of Moshiach. But one can't help when listening to the words. Think of the times we're in and yearn for a time when our shuls can be filled once again with simcha, every seat taken. Please God, next Chanukah concert will be back in Edgware United, or even better, as a kehillah at large, back in Yerushalayim. If you know the words, please sing along from home. Someday we will all be together. Someday we'll be sheltered and warm. Never will we have to express any fear. Our scars and our wounds will disappear. Abraham and Yitzchak will be there to greet us. Yaakov and his sons will stand by and smile. Moshe Rabbeinu will greet us once again in Yerushalayim Be'ezrat Hashem. We learn every day, 'cause Hashem, please bring those old times back. We all know that you're listening. Of course we know it's true. For I've received the promise, and so have you, that Hashem will lead us out of this galus. We can't take too much longer, you know why. And then together we're all gonna daven. Together we're all gonna sing, we're gonna praise and thank you, Hashem, for everything. Someday we will all be together. Someday we'll be sheltered and warm. Never will we have to express any fear. Our scars and our wounds will disappear. Avram and Yitzchak will be there to greet us. Yaakov and his sons will stand by and smile. Moshe Rabbeinu will greet us once again. All together now in Yerusha. Come on, you can do it better than that. Let's have another go. In Yerusha, Yerushalayim, Be'ezrat Hashem. Someday we'll all be together. Chag Sameach.
Chaim Liebman, unfortunately, very, very prominent and eminent man in the Jewish community, was given some terrible news. He was told he hasn't got long to live. So he decided to bring all of his friends round to his lovely big mansion just by Stamford Hill, and he said to them, you know what, I haven't got long to live, I've got nobody to leave it to, I'm going to leave to the yeshiva, but I am going to give my house to any man that will swim one length of my shark-infested swimming pool. One length. All his friends are standing around, nothing. No one moved. The sharks are swimming up and down, baying for blood. Nobody moved. He said, okay, I'm going to give them my house, the business, and £1 million. Nothing. Not a murmur. They're all very quiet. Everyone's looking at each other. And the fish, the sharks are swimming up and down, baying for blood. He said, okay, I'm going to give them the house, the money, the business, and I'm going to grant that person one wish. Any wish they want, if they swim one length, just one length of my shark-infested swimming pool. With that, there's a splash, and there he is, Shmuley, one of his people from, he hadn't seen him for years. Shmuley's in the water, swimming like a madman, never said boo to a goose before. He's swimming like a madman. No one can believe that Shmuley, of all people's in the water, swimming like a madman. He's swimming, and the sharks are tearing him to pieces, and they're ripping at him. And Shmuley's swimming, eventually he gets to the end. He can't believe it. He pulls himself, and they pull him out. He can't believe it. And he says to him, he says, look, this is unbelievable. I can't believe that you've done it, but I'll give you the house, the business, the money, and I'll grant you any wish. Any wish. Shmuley, what do you want? He said, I want the person that pushed me in.
Hey, aren't you going to wait for me?
Hello, I'm Judy Carbritz and I'm co-founder of the Jewish Poetry Society together with Patty Greenberg. And today I'd like to read you something from my book Tower of Bagels, Odes to Jewish Life. And it's Maotsaurus, which might give you a clue. And it's all about Hanukkah. So I hope you enjoy it. As a child I could not see why Christmas excluded me. Paper chains and mistletoe, Santa riding in the snow, dreidels and menorahs, candles sold out. Oy vey's me what Saurus, till the rabbi said to me, let them keep their nativity, and I'm sure you will agree, it's not all festivity. Roikus is in Gentile home, baleful looks and stifled groans, got a card from Uncle Ben, he's the one you forgot again, sprouts on in November, keep them boiling till December, sweet pines from the Christmas tree, and buy your gifts in January, for days you're eating cold turkey, pass the latkes round to me. Well, I I do hope you enjoyed that, and I wish you a great, happy, peaceful and healthy Hanukkah, everyone. Thank you.
So, Jaime's house was in desperate need of repair. Jaime decided that he would paint it himself. He'd paint the whole of the outside himself, just to save some money. He bought the paint, and when he got back home, he looked at it and he thought, you know what? I could save even more money if I add a bit of water to the paint, and then it'll go a lot further. So that's what he did. And he managed to paint the whole of the outside of his house. It looked amazing. He stood back to admire his work, and as he did so, suddenly the heavens opened and the rain started to pour down. It didn't just pour down, it bucketed down. It came down so hard that it washed away all the beautiful paint that Jaime had put on his house. He was desperate. He didn't know what to do. He just stood there with his hands in his head, and he looked up to Shemaim and just wanted to know what he should do. And suddenly a voice boomed out at him. Jaime, Jaime, repent, repent, and never be a sinner again.
The Levis have recently struck it rich and moved to a very exclusive area in central London. They decide to go all out on being upper class and employ a real English butler. One afternoon, they go to the theatre. Before they leave, they tell the butler that they have invited their friends the Cohens for dinner, and they ask the butler to set the table for 4. They come back home just before dinner and find that the table has been laid with 8 places. They ask the butler why he did that, and he explains, well, shortly after you left, Mrs. Cohen rang and said she would be bringing the Canadles and the Knisses, so I laid an extra 4 places for them.
L'chana l'shabeach tikon betefilati v'sham toda nezabeach lietachin matbeach mitzah Shalom Aleinu, Odeva Shalom Aleinu, Odeva Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kulam. Odeva Shalom Aleinu, Odeva Shalom Aleinu, Odeva Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kulam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam, salam. Kol ha'olam, salam, salam. Odeva shalom aleinu, Odeva shalom aleinu, Odeva shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. על הדבש ועל העוקץ, על המר והמתוק, על ביתנו התינוקת, שמורי לי הטוב, על האש המבוערת, על המים הזכים, על האיש ששב הביתה מן המרחקים, על כל אלה, על כל אלה, שמונה לי אלי הטוב, על הדבש ועל העוקץ, על המה והמתוק, על נטע כל נטוע, אל תשכח את התקווה, השיבני ואשובה, על הארץ הטובה, על הארץ הטובה.
Hi there. What do you call a speck that falls into the latke pan? An unidentified flying object. What's the difference between Chanuka and a dragon? One lasts for 8 nights, the other sometimes 8 nights.
So 2 Jewish men are sitting at home one day, and one turns to the other and says, you know, I went to a new restaurant last week. It was fantastic. The chicken soup, it was so tasty, and the salt beef so tender, and the chocolate pudding, you've never tasted chocolate pudding like it. So the other one turned and said, that's great, tell me, what was it called? And the man thinks and he says, what was it called? What was it called? What was the name? Oh yes, tell me, what's that flower that's pink and has thorns on it? And the other man says, you mean a rose? And the man said, yeah, that's it, Rose. Rose, what was that restaurant called?
Hello?
Hello?
Oh, hello. Is that 02083614444?
Well, it may be. Who is this, please?
Ah, jolly good. It's Boris Johnson here.
Who? Sorry, I can't hear properly. For a minute, I thought you said you were Boris Johnson.
I did, madam.
Oh, well, sorry, wrong number. It's Lysia from Buckingham Palace.
Madam, I'm so sorry. I should explain myself. I am the Prime Minister, and myself together with my ministers have decided to do a survey and ask the Jewish population what they really want.
What I want, what I really want. Sorry, Boris. I'm an old Spice Girl fan.
Oh, ha ha. Yes, I like a bit of spice myself. Ha 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 ha.
Yes, I bet you do.
Madam, I can assure you I am the Prime Minister. Madam, do you remember Winston Churchill?
But a chutzpah! I'm not that old.
Well, I'm a great admirer of his, and I hope to follow in his footsteps.
Oy vey, I don't want any wars, God forbid.
Madam, I value your opinion.
Oh, really? My friends at the Bridge Club won't believe this. Well, go on then. But I hope it doesn't take too long. EastEnders is on soon.
Oh, no, not long. But you can always get it on ketchup.
Ketchup? I prefer HP sauce myself.
No. Ketchup TV, where programs get recorded.
Recorded? Ah, I can just about turn the TV on.
Oh, and if you help with this survey, maybe I can bribe, offer you an upgrade. Sky, Virgin, then you can watch all your favourite soaps anytime.
Oh, you are awful, but I like you. All right, go on then.
Righto then. Do you think we should have another lockdown before Easter? Passover.
Oy vey's near. Not unless you want a matzah revolution.
Righto. Well, do you agree with tears?
Well, I do like a good cry now and then, especially when I'm watching Holby City.
No. Tears as in 1, 2, and 3.
Ah, silly me. Yes and no.
Right. Can you be a bit more explicit?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't a clue what the whole thing means.
No, most people don't. Anyway, I'll explain.
Yeah.
Tier 1, you meet in 2s. Tier 2, you meet in 1s. Tier 3, you meet in 1, 2, and 3s.
Was?
Right. Let's start again. Do you think there'll be more Jewish people in Tier 1, Golders Green, Tier 2, Hampstead Gardens suburbs, or Tier 3, Hackney?
Let me see. Can I phone a friend?
No, but you can ask the host, me. Ha 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 ha. Right. Anyway, Mrs. Schneiderman.
Schneiderman.
Schneiderman. Right. Exactly. Right. I want to finish by wishing all my Jewish friends a very happy Chanuka.
Hanukkah, Boris, Hanukkah.
Oh, yes, Hanukkah. And remember, stay in. Light candles before you go out. Only go out if you have to, but blow your candles out before you go out. Stay in your bubbles and only blow the bubbles out if you don't stay in. And go out only if you have to. Stay in. Hello? Hello? Mrs. Schneiderman, hello? Are you there? Hello? Hello, are you there? Where's she gone?
Hello, darling. How are you getting on with your survey?
Hello, darling. Well, I'm not quite sure. I think she's nodded off.
Oh, well, I'm not surprised. I mean, what a surprise. The baby won't stop screaming, and she won't go down. So, repeat exactly what you just said, and that should put her straight to sleep too. Right, Boris?
Righto. Right.
It's opening night on Broadway in one of the best theatres. There's hundreds and hundreds of people there, and you know what? The ticket touts are having an absolute field day. There's no tickets to be had. Well, a middle-aged couple are in the theatre, and they can see there's a little old lady, and you know what her name was? You've guessed it, yes, Mrs. Goldstein, sitting next to, believe it or not, in spite of all the occupied seats, she's sitting next to an empty seat. So the gentleman of the couple approaches Mrs. Goldstein and he says, "You'll excuse me asking, but whose seat is that?" And Mrs. Goldstein says, "That seat was my late husband's seat, Mr. Goldstein." And the guy says, "Well, I'm terribly sorry, but surely you must have some friends or relatives who would have wanted to come and see the show." She says, "Yes, you're quite right, but they're all at the funeral."
Close every door to me, hide all the world from me, bar all the windows and shut out the light. Do what you want with me, hate me and laugh at me, darken my daytime and torture my night. If my life were important, I would ask, will I live or die? But I know the answers lie far from this world. Close every door to me, keep those I love from me. Children of Israel are never alone, for I know I shall find my own peace of mind, for I have been promised a land of my own. Happy Hanukkah.
There's President-elect Biden, and there's President Trump, and the Pope and the Chief Rabbi are all on an aeroplane when the pilot suddenly announces that all the engines have failed and they've got to jump out of the plane by parachute. So they look round the cabin and they can see only 3 parachutes for the 4 of them. So President-elect Biden says, well, I'm going to be the leader of the free world, so I'm going to be the most important person, and I certainly deserve a parachute. So he grabs a parachute and he jumps out of the plane. President Trump says he's not going to be the leader of the free world. There's some nonsense. All those elections were absolute rubbish. I'm going to continue to be the president, and I'm the most important person here. So he grabs a parachute and jumps out of the plane. That leaves the chief rabbi and the Pope, and they look at one another, and the Pope says to the chief rabbi, you know, Chief Rabbi, your people are really much older than my people. You're really the more senior. I think really you should have the last parachute. And the Chief Rabbi says to the Pope, don't worry, Your Holiness, there's still 2 parachutes left. President Trump has just jumped out of the plane with my tallis bag.
Hello everyone, Richie Rich here, and welcome to my set of the Edgware United Chanuka virtual variety show. And you may wonder why I'm still getting ready, but all will be revealed in a moment, as I'm going to ask you a question to start off with. Okay, so here we go. What we've got here, okay, and what I'm going to ask you is, I'm going to fold up. Can you see? I'm going to fold up the big bit, and I'm also going to fold, while I hold in my chin the big bit, I'm going to fold the little bit up. Can you see that? And now that I've got both parts folded up, I'm going to ask you to guess. So in a moment I'm going to let go and I'm going to drop both pieces, and I want you to guess at home, okay, with your, have a little bet, a wager with your husband, wife, children, whoever it might be, as to which part is going to fall to the bottom first. Is it going to be the big bit or the small bit? Are you ready? Steady? Got your bet ready? Go. It was a tie. For this next trick, we've got 3 cards. We've got, let me show you, we've got this card, we've got this card, and we've got that card. Okay, so one more time, we've got this card, we've got this card, and we've got that card. So we've got 2 of this and 1 of that. And don't forget, we've only got 3 cards. So let's have another look again. We've got, oh, that card, that's strange. We've got
that card, and we've got this card. So we started off with 2 of that and 1 of this, and now we've got 1 of this and 2 of that. That's very strange, but don't forget, in life you get a little bit of this, you get a little bit of that, and you get a little bit of the other. Ladies and gentlemen, for my next trick, I am going to rip up this piece of newspaper and completely restore it again. Okay, so I'm going to show you the bit of newspaper. It's from the Jewish Weekly a couple of weeks ago. I'm going to show you the paper so that when I restore it, you can see that it is indeed the exact same bit of newspaper. So here you go. We've got a smiley face and a big 3 in red letters, and then if we turn it over, we've got an advert from a singer and some various other things there. Look very closely because I'm going to try and restore it exactly. Right, so let's start ripping it up. Here we go. There you go. As you can see, I'm ripping this newspaper up completely. Now, the magic comes into this. Once it's been ripped up, as it now has, the magic comes into this by completely screwing up this bit of paper. There we go. We've completely, and the magic is that the smaller you can screw it up, okay, the easier it is for all the pieces to magically sellotape themselves back together, connect themselves back together. So hopefully that is now starting to take some effect. In a moment, I'm going to unveil the completely restored newspaper. So let's see if it works. There we go. It's starting to take shape. Let's have a look. Perfect. Look at this. Look, looking very good. There we go. And then as we open it properly, you can see that it is completely restored into the same bit of newspaper. The big smiley face, the free sign, the advert from the singer, and everything else. Thank you. Okay, for my finale, you'll see that I am floating in mid-air. Yes, that's right, without any help from any accomplice. I am floating in mid-air. Thank you very much for watching my show. I really appreciate you all coming along. And there we go. Big round of applause for my big finale. Thank you very much.
There's once a rabbi, and everything that happened to him, he would see the bright side, and he would say, Gam zu l'tova, this is for the best. So when the bag broke, and all his shopping rolled all over the street and into the road, and he had to stop cars to pick it all up, he would say, Gam zu l'tova, this is for the best. And then when he locked his keys in the car, he would say, never mind that I can't get my keys, God's trying to tell me something, Gam zu l'tova, this is for the best. One day, Rabbi went to the dentist, and the dentist said open wide, looked into his mouth and said, Rabbi, your mouth isn't good. You have gum disease. You need to spend a lot more time on your gingival brushing, and you need to spend more time looking after your mouth. And the rabbi said to the dentist, you see, Gam zu l'tova, this is all for the best.
Hi, my name's Rafi, and earlier this year, during the first lockdown, I had the opportunity to record my single B'Shem Hashem. I've been the boy soloist for the Shabbaton Choir since 2018, and B'Shem was written for me to sing during our tour in Israel in February this year. Stephen Levy, who composed it, was the musical director for the choir and famously wrote Osei Shalom that had over 3 million views on YouTube. B'Shem is a lullaby that is said in the Kriyat Shema al Hamitah, and Stephen describes it as a highly atmospheric and mature piece. The song is about all the angels watching over when you sleep, one of which is the angel Raphael. Chazan Shimon Kramer, who I knew well from the choir and who was an ex-Hasmo boy, asked to produce the track and was going to fly over for the recording. Shimon lives in Israel, so because of COVID, we couldn't do this in person, so we did it virtually instead. I went to the recording studio in Wembley to make the track, with Shimon on Zoom giving me directions and Motti Cohen, another producer from the UK, creating it. It took about 3 hours to record, and I loved every minute. I hope you enjoy it too.
B'Shem Hashem Elokei Yisrael Mimini Michael Umismoli Gabriel Umilfanai Uriel Umeachorai Raphael Mi'al Roshi Shechinat B'Shem Hashem Elokei Yisrael Mimini Michael Umismoli Gabriel Umilfanai Uriel Umeachorai Raphael Mi'al Roshi
Edgware United Shaw's football team is due to play Stanmore United Shaw next Sunday afternoon. The only problem is they can't muster 11. They've got 10 players, they cannot find a full team. So they scour the area looking for a good footballer, not a chance. Then they get a call from one of our members, Kosher Butcher, very, very generous, who says, look, I've got a chicken who's reputed to be a great footballer. Would you like him? So, yeah, of course we'd like him. He makes up the team. So they arrive on Sunday afternoon at the football pitch. They line up, chickens on the wing, no pun intended, of course, and the whistle goes. The chicken absolutely runs the game. He can pass, he can tackle, he can head. He's just absolutely phenomenal. Half time comes, they troop off the pitch with Edgware United winning 4-0. That's never happened before. Not only that, the chicken scored 2 goals. He set up the other 2 for Edgware centre forward. And he's even managed to get back and hook a ball off the line when the Edgware goalkeeper was beaten. Phenomenal, absolutely fantastic. On the way out for the second half, the referee decides to engage the chicken in conversation. He goes up to him, he says, "Look," he said, "you were fantastic." He said, "You covered every square inch of the pitch in that first half." He said, "How do you get that energy?" He said, the chicken said, "Well, look," he said, it is a problem. He said, "I do try and keep in shape." He said, "What I normally do is," he said, "before I go to work each morning, I go to the gym for an hour." Referee said, "What, you work?" He said, "Yes." He said, "I'm a chartered accountant." He said, "In fact, I'm a partner with PricewaterhouseCoopers." At which point the referee goes over his pocket, takes out the red card, brandishes it in front of the chicken and says, "You're off." The chicken walks dejectedly off. The Edgware players surround the referee, complaining, demanding to know what the chicken had done to be dismissed. And the referee said, "Look, lads," he said, "I'm very sorry." He said, "I had no choice. It was a professional foul."
People often ask me, what's the secret of a long and happy marriage? I always tell them the same thing. However busy we are, we always make time for a romantic candlelit dinner for 2. I go on Tuesdays, she goes on Wednesdays.
Oh, hello, Marcus, dear boy. How very kind of you to phone me. As I phoned you. Oh, splendid. Well, it's quite apposite as it happens, because I've just sat down with a large sherry and 11 across 6 down. Have you got it? No, heaven forfend, do not tell me. But I've got a P and an O and an L and a Y, so it must be something parrot related. But it matters not a jot, because what I want to talk to you about is Christmas, plans thereof. Now, shall you and Dickon be do-gooding again this year? Ooh, how terribly dispiriting, what? Samaritans and a food bank. It exactly is a food bank, dear boy, is it? Is it Twiglets on the 3rd till? Well, why on earth don't you forbear the brownie points in heaven and drop in on your poor, vulnerable godmother in tier 1? Or tears before bedtime, as Rodney would have it. But there's no need to fear COVID, dear boy. Nobody's had COVID here, save the vicar. And he's been self-isolating since the year 2000. Well, nobody really knows. The word in the post office is he was afraid of the millennium bug. Right. So can you make it? Can you? How do you mean, out of your bubble? Oh, there'll be lots of bubbles here, darling. Rodney always opens a magnum of Dom Perignon, so there'll be all the bubbles you can consume. No. Oh, you mean lock up? Cock up, if you ask me. Well, gracious, what can one expect from that gaggle of fourth formers? Rodney refers to them as the Eton mess. Yes, I thought you'd like that. Well, he hates the PM with a fearsome loathing. Testosterone level of a bonobo, noodles for hair, and the attention span of a troglodyte is how he has it. Did you, Marcus, really? You fagged for him? Well, he's not a prefect now. I don't know how charming he was. It's a proper job, you know, running a country. running it into the ground. If you all right, well, we won't go there. It's chaos out of my front door. The perfectly sensible people whom I used to meet in the soon-to-be defunct library are calling themselves anti-vaxxers, and they're blaming Bill Gates for everything. You know, Dorothy Perkins closing and, well, not seeing their children since March. Well, I regard that as something of a blessing. Well, yes, Johanna does bring us our farinaceous and farm, and Ferdy does spike us from Mousehole once every blue moon. Yes, I know perfectly well how it's pronounced, dear boy. I merely learnt it that way to irritate him. Uh-huh. Oh, is it spike? Skype. Ah, it sounds like a small Scandinavian fish. Oh, do have some Skype, yes. Yes, I do get out and about, of course I do. Well, only around the estate once a day with Genghis, who has taken to impersonating my gammy knee with one of his. So the pair of us seem to be synchronized limping all over the place. Makes Rodney hoot with laughter. Genghis? No, he's a lurcher cross. Oh, alas, poor Virgil. Oh, we lost Virgil to a wasp. It was ghastly. Poor boy looked so baffled. Well, no, I must persist and not digress. Christmas, dear boy. Surely you can squeeze in your flailing godmother for a wee dram and a slice of Heston stollen. I can't offer din-dins, sadly, because as intimated, we rely on Johanna for our victuals, and she is into the gut being a second brain, and so she brings us very little except hay. Hay, yes, you know, muesli, chia seeds, anything that's brown and tastes of sock. She's on the Keystone diet, and I sincerely hope she cops it. Oh, no, bowel alert. Rodney and I, secretly, we live off tinned mackerel on crumpets and lashings of Glenlivet. It's yummy. Oh, Marcus, you're turning into a fearful pouter pigeon. I mean, do cheer up before you start ministering to your waifs and strays, or you'll drive them all to Yuletide in dignitas. Then you'll have it on your conscience right through 2121. Hey-ho, the wind and the rain. I do look forward to grazing elbows with you afore St. Agnes Eve. St. Agnes Eve, ah, bitter chill it was, the owl, for all his feathers was a cold. The hare limped yes, I'm sure you do. Can you bring what? Bring, yes, if you must, yes. Oh, wait, I've got it. Yes, polygamous, 11 down. Polygamous, of course, nothing at all to do with parrots. Silly boy. Oh dear. Yes, I'm coming, Rodney. Yes, pour me a large one, will you? Bye-bye, dear boy. See you then. See you on the 27th. Lovely. Rodney, I am a little worried about Marcus. I fear the plot is being mislaid. He asked me if he could bring me a see-through advisor. A see-through advisor. God, I hope it's not Dominic Cummings.
Well, thank you everyone for watching, and I hope you all enjoyed the show.
Okay, over to David.
Thank you all for joining our variety show this evening. The fourth night of Chanuka. Where else would you have seen 4 candles? It has been made all the more special by the fantastic sketches, songs, comedy and magic. Thank you to all the performers for giving of your time to make this a spectacular show. We're trying to work out whose happy birthday it was. I understand that Dick Van Dyke is 95 today. With special thanks to those gentlemen who did everything to bring this show together: Spencer Nathan, David Oliver, Phil Singer, and Avi Son. We've had to rely on virtual events for months now, and this is what we've become used to. Please God, we should all be together soon, that we can celebrate evenings like this and many others, that we should all be together soon. On behalf of Edgware United, I wish you all Chanuka Sameach. Thank you for watching. Stay safe and be well.